Hi there, friends. I can hardly believe it, but it is the second week of Advent. So let's talk about all of the fun things that we're going to look at and do today, okay? First of all, if you look behind me, take a peek. Our sign back there is a different one from last week. Remember that last week our sign said hope, and this week our sign says peace. So again, I hope some of you remember having colored that one. I think it's so pretty. Now, just like we usually do, let's go ahead and light some candles. But remember last week, we made our own Advent wreaths. So this week, this is the Advent wreath that I'm going to use. And we'll go ahead and light 2 candles this week. So the first candle we're going to light is our candle that says hope. And that was the one that we lit last week. Now, this week, we're going to light a candle that says peace. So let's light that. And then just like we always do, let's take a minute and grab the people that we are having Sunday school with and just let them know that it is such a blessing that we all get to come together. So now I have my family devotional with me, and I thought we could look at some of the things that are in the devotional together today. Now, I have started to do the coloring from week 1, and I didn't quite get all of my week 2 coloring done yet, so I'll show you that next week. But once we get to week 2, we see that it says, do not be afraid, vision in the night. And then we are invited to do some reading in our Bible. And one of the passages is from the 1st chapter of Matthew, and one of the passages is from the 1st chapter of Luke. So I would encourage you to maybe grab a grown-up and do a little bit of that reading together. But let's also read a little bit about what it says in the reflection, okay? So it says, do you know that long ago, before there were phones, computers, or even compasses, sailors used stars at night to find their way? The stars, of course, were made of light, but the night enabled the sailors to see the stars clearly enough to navigate their path. Light and dark worked together to illuminate the way. This week's scriptures include 2 Advent stories leading up to Jesus' birth. In these stories, darkness plays a significant role. Night tells our bodies that it's time to sleep, and sometimes we can even have dreams. In these stories, both Joseph and Mary have visions of angels who bring good news. So you see, these messengers or angels appear in the nighttime, so the night's not bad, and they bring really good news to both Mary and to Joseph. And one of the things that I think is super fun about when angels show up in the Bible is they almost always start by saying, do not be afraid. So remember that in the darkness, good things can happen, and we don't have to be afraid. Now, for our family activity, we had some really fun things in our bag. Do you remember that? So our family activity this week is making cookies. So there's sugar cookie mix, and there's sprinkles, and cookie cutters. Maybe you have some favorite cookie cutters at home too. And there's even some frosting. So I hope that you have time as a family to do that. We've done a lot of cookie baking, and I'll show you some of our cookie baking that we've done in just a second. And then one of the things that you could do is you could also be a messenger of hope and peace by maybe sharing some of your cookies and sending a note to somebody along with your cookies to let them know how much you appreciate them. In fact, one of the things that it talks about in our devotional again is that maybe we could even take some time to write messages to our family members and let them know how much we love and care about them. Or maybe we write the notes and you save them for Christmas Eve or Christmas Day as special little messages. All of these are great ideas that you can do as a family. So now, let's go see what I did as far as cookies and a special message and note. So in our family activity today, we had the opportunity to bake cookies. Now, in my household, we bake tons of cookies at Christmas time. So I thought this would be a great idea for me to create something that I could be a messenger of love and peace and hope to a friend. So I'm just going to take a whole bunch of cookies and I'm going to make a special cookie plate because we as a family had a lot of stuff happen this fall and we needed the help of some pretty special friends to get through it. And so I am going to make a really beautiful tray of cookies and I am going to take it to my very, very dear friend. Her name is Jane. Look at how cute. Katie made most of these cookies, by the way. And look at how adorable the kit that you guys got in your Advent kit, that's what she used to make these darling little mittens. And I think they're really fun. So anyway, I am going to make this plate of cookies for Jane. And then I got a little note here. And in your activity, it said that you could write some notes to some people that are special to you. So I'm just going to write a note and I'm going to wrap up these cookies and I'm just going to tell this person how special they are to me. And maybe you want to do the same thing with some people that are special in your life. Let's go check out our story next, okay? So now, let's end our time together by reading this really beautiful book called Amazing Peace. Thunder rumbles in the mountain passes, and lightning rattles the eaves of our houses. Floodwaters await in our avenues. Snow falls upon snow, falls upon snow to avalanche over unprotected villages. The sky slips low and gray and threatening. We question ourselves. What have we done to affront nature? We interrogate and worry God. Are you there? Are you there really? Does the covenant you made with us still hold? Into this climate of fear and apprehension, Christmas enters. Streaming lights of joy, ringing bells of hope, and singing carols of forgiveness high up in the bright air. The world is encouraged to come away from rancor, come the way of friendship. It is the glad season. Thunder ebbs to silence, and lightning sleeps quietly in the corner. Floodwaters recede into memory. Snow becomes a yielding cushion to aid us as we make our way to higher ground. Hope is born again in the faces of children. It rides on the shoulders of our aged as they walk into their sunsets. Hope spreads around the earth, brightening all things, even hate, which crouches, breeding in dark corridors. In our joy, we think we hear a whisper. At first, it is too soft, then only half heard. We listen carefully as it gathers strength. We hear a sweetness. The word is peace. It is loud now, louder than the explosion of bombs. We tremble at the sound. We are thrilled by its presence. It is what we have hungered for. Not just the absence of war, but true peace. A harmony of spirit, a comfort of courtesies. Security for our beloveds and our beloveds. We clap hands and welcome the peace of Christmas. We beckon this good season to wait a while with us. We, Baptist and Buddhist, Methodist and Muslim, say come. Peace. Come and fill us in our world with your majesty. We, the Jew and the Janus, the Catholic and the Confucian, implore you to stay a while with us, so we may learn by your shimmering light how to look beyond complexion and see our community. It is Christmas time, a halting of hate time. On this platform of peace, we can create a language to translate ourselves and to each other. At this holy instant, we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. Into the great religions of the world, we jubilate the precious advent of trust. We shout with glorious tongues the coming of hope. All the earth's tribes loosen their voices to celebrate the promise of peace. We, angels and mortals, believers and non-believers, look heavenward and speak the word aloud, peace. We look at our world and speak the word aloud, peace. We look at each other, then into ourselves, and we say without shyness or apology or hesitation, peace, my brother, peace, my sister, peace, my soul. I hope that story helps you feel just a little bit peaceful this week. Let's close in prayer, okay, friends? Dear God, thank you for the messages of hope and peace that we see in our world every day. You send us messages in the daytime when it is sunny, and in the nighttime when it is dark, and sometimes even in our dreams. Help us be messengers of hope and peace to our neighbors and friends and family, especially for those who feel lonely or discouraged. Bless those who will receive our letters and texts and pictures, that they may know they are loved. Amen. All right, you guys, have a great week, okay? We'll see you when it is the third week of Advent. Bye-bye.